have consequences. I think she should be tried at The Hague. What we are seeing from her operation are crimes against humanity. And if the response from ICE to people exercising their First Amendment right is to drive vehicles through them, is to shoot them, is to put a stationary gun on top of a roof, as we saw today, they shouldn't be allowed to operate. If that is what their operations entail, they should not be an agency in the United States.
A few moments later.
There was an indictment that came out today, and we want to tell you about that. Kat Abughazaleh, she's a high-profile congressional candidate in the 9th District. She and others are listed in an indictment here. The protesters are accused of trying to block vehicles from entering the Broadview ICE facility in September. Video of agents throwing her to the ground went viral. The indictment alleges that she and other protesters blocked a federal agent's vehicle on September 26th, that they banged on it and etched the word pig into the paint. They allegedly broke a side view mirror and a wiper blade. They're accused of interfering with a federal agent's official duties. It was one of the days that agents deployed tear gas and pepper balls at protesters outside of that Broadview facility. Abughazaleh announced the indictment on her social media.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, what we have here is Kat. I think her name is Abughazaleh or Abughazaleh. Don't know. Don't care. I'm just gonna call her Find Out, because she is about to be found out that she has committed crimes and is going to go to jail. She's been federally charged for impeding federal agents at an ICE facility in Chicago. So she's in the find out stage, and it ain't looking too great for her at all. She's about to be cooked. And this is kind of going on to why she's being charged on the issue that's been going on here, because obviously she's not quite understanding the ramifications of where she's at yet at all, and why she's technically being charged. So without further ado, here's the clips.
Protesters, including members of an organization named VC Defensa, came to the site of the search warrants. VC Defensa is an organization that operates and manages what they call a rapid response network designed to impede federal agents and their enforcement operations. And that warrant is what you see on the camera there at the marijuana farm where the agents were attempting to leave. In one of the criminal complaints today, we are charging 2 members of VC Defensa for conspiring to impede and injure federal law enforcement officers. These 2 VC Defensa members went to the protests on July 10th in Ventura County and acted with others to assault enforcement vehicles and officers. One of the members charged in the complaint used her vehicle to block U.S. government vehicles from leaving the location, while another member and others ambushed the vehicles by throwing rocks at them, and those images went viral. Several government vehicles were damaged, and a federal contract employee was injured as a rock went through her vehicle window, shattering the glass and striking her. And you're going to hear more about that case here shortly. Separately, in another incident that you also see on the TV here, on June 8th in downtown Los Angeles Civic Center, a group of agitators used the protests as an excuse to throw rocks, bottles, and other objects at officers, injuring several of them. Government and private property were vandalized. Los Angeles police declared an unlawful assembly, yet the violence continued. 9 of the defendants charged in that second criminal complaint were filmed on cell phones by local news and other media, throwing rocks, bottles, and objects, including objects on fire from an overpass on Main and Los Angeles Street here in downtown LA onto the CHP officers and their vehicles.
Federal charges have been filed against Democratic congressional candidate Kat Abughazaleh and others in connection to a protest at the Broadview ICE facility.
The group is accused of damaging and surrounding ICE agents' vehicles. WGN's Angelica Sanchez has Abughazaleh's response to those allegations.
This is a First Amendment issue, plain and simple.
I'll
Outside her Rogers Park campaign office, Democratic congressional candidate Kat Abughazaleh tells WGN the federal charge against her is an attack on free speech.
I and hundreds of people across Chicago have been protesting ICE as they commit crimes in our community.
On September 26, more than 100 people called for an end to the Trump administration's immigration crackdown in Broadview. Protesters were seen banging on the windows, doors, and hood of a federal vehicle attempting to get by. Tear gas and pepper balls were deployed. Federal authorities are now accusing Abughazaleh and others of surrounding and damaging an ICE agent's vehicle. They claim pig was etched into the car. We asked her about the allegations.
Look, I have been exercising my First Amendment rights within what we are guaranteed under the Constitution, and these attacks by the administration are not just governmental overreach, they're unconstitutional and they endanger us all.
Also charged are Michael Rabbitt, a 45th Ward Democratic Committee person, Catherine Sharp, running for a Cook County Board seat, as well as Andre Martin, Brian Straw, and Jocelyn Walsh. Abughazaleh is running for the 9th District seat held by Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky. Schakowsky is retiring at the end of this term. The 26-year-old has become a popular figure on social media, taking on right-wing politicians and commentators. She's already raising money for her legal costs.
Well, we've got the campaign and we have the primary in 5 months and we still plan on winning, both in court and on election day.
An arraignment date has not yet been set, but we're told it could happen in the coming days. Reporting in Rogers Park, Angelica Sanchez, WGN News.
See, I find it hilarious that this person here is saying, like, oh, it's a violation of my First Amendment rights. It's a huge issue. Like, they can't be doing this. Girl, we all know what you did. We know what's the real reality coming here. Like, it is what it is. Like, what you've done so far is that you have impeded officers, and we have the Gibbs here that's roll them in the back, where this is what's going on. You were impeding officers. You were pushing your hand against the officer's steering wheel, car, and impeding them. So obviously, you're going to be charged as such. This is not really a surprise here, and you're in the find out stage, and people need to start understanding the actual reality. Now, nobody's against you protesting unless you're on the side of the road, but you guys are in the street pushing on the federal agents' cars and thinking you can just get away with it, which is insane behavior. So this is what we have here with this insane individual.
My name is Kat Abughazaleh. I'm running for Congress in the 9th District of Illinois, and the Department of Justice is charging 6 people, including myself, with federal crimes for exercising our First Amendment rights near ICE's Broadview Processing Center. This is a political prosecution and a gross attempt to silence dissent, a right protected under the First Amendment. This case is a major push by the Trump administration to criminalize protest and punish anyone who speaks out against them.
Incorrect. So let's go out and correct what she's done here. So obviously we need to correct this because this is the kind of insanity that she thinks. So obstructing federal law enforcement in the United States encompasses a range of criminal acts that interfere with federal officers, investigations, or official proceedings. These are primarily defined under the Title 18 of the U.S. Code with key statutes outlining specific prohibited behaviors. Below is an overview of the main provisions based on federal law. So obviously, it usually means forcibly assaulting, resisting, opposing, impeding, intimidating, or interfering with designated law enforcement officers such as FBI agents, marshals, etc., and they're performing their official duties. Is what this does, right? Obviously, they're all going to range from different things here, and that's what you have, right? And the bigger thing that we're going to go over here as well, which is, the one where we're pushing on a federal vehicle, pushing a moving vehicle occupied by a federal agent could potentially be considered obstructing or interfering with federal law enforcement under 18 U.S.C. 111, which prohibits forcibly assaulting, resisting, imposing, impeding, intimidating, or interfering with designated federal officers while they're engaged in official duties. So, Kat, idiot, moron, that's what you've done. This, again, reading the clips again. Here's you trying to impede them. You're pushing on their car or on their vehicle, and you are being charged as such. That is what you are being charged for. So, again, it's not against your First Amendment right. You are not legally protesting in the sense because you're supposed to be protesting on the side of the road, which is not what you're doing, and you're now trying to obfuscate and lie to your audience on what you've actually done. We have the video here. Stop being stupid.
That's why I'm going to fight these unjust charges, but I need your help to do it. As I and others have exercised our First Amendment rights, ICE has hit, dragged, thrown, shot with pepper balls, and tear gassed hundreds of protesters, simply because we had the gall to say that masked men coming into our communities, abducting our neighbors, and terrorizing us cannot be our new normal. And because Chicago...
It's not your new normal. You're making it your new normal, because what is you guys are doing is that you're going out on the roads, going out on the streets, and impeding officers, which is not legal by the law. All right, and it's not a protest, because a protest is not impeding law enforcement or taking control of roads or highways, etc. But that's what you guys are doing now. Maybe not necessarily highways compared to the past few years that you guys been doing, but you have been impeding officers, which is not legal by law. So therefore, you are not obeying your First Amendment rights. This is not a protest. This is what we consider a riot by every stretch of the imagination, especially some of the fires that you guys been doing. So no, you're just lying again.
Chicago doesn't back down from bullies in masks who tear gas our neighborhoods. This administration has resorted to weaponizing the federal justice system to scare us into silence. But we're not going to be silent. The Trump administration wants you to be afraid of speaking out against it and its anti-democratic power grabs. And there are plenty of reasons to be afraid right now, but we have to overcome that fear. This case targets our rights to protest, speak freely, and associate with anyone who disagrees with the government. And while we have seen the unhinged and unlawful tactics this administration has used against the American public, it's important to remember they're doing this because they are scared. They are wrong. And they know they are on the wrong side of history. We cannot diminish ourselves in the face of these attacks. That's why we have to unite and stand up for humanity, our rights, and everyone terrorized by Trump's lawless secret police. You'll be hearing regular updates directly from me about this case and how we can use our constitutional rights to resist authoritarianism. And as scary as all of this is, I have spent my career fighting America's backslide into fascism. I'm not going to stop now, and I hope you won't either.
Yeah, so this woman's going to go to jail. She's going to prison, and she's going to have to think very long and hard on what she has done here. She has not been she's not being politically prosecuted. She violated the law, and as such, she should go to jail. That's just straight up the truth. And she can play these stupid or silly games, but we're not doing them. You're not on the right side of history, because if that was the case here, you would simply have the Senate, the House, and the presidency, which you guys have none of that. And it even looks like New York is going to go red in getting their governor. So you guys are not on the right side of history. You're on the wrong side. And I think it's time you wake up, because things are coming for you, and it's only going to get more red from here. Your guys are screwed. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, guys, share. As always, take care, my friends.